Hello, good afternoon, wherever this finds you, and welcome to our Lunar New Year celebration workshop with artist Rozzie Lee. My name is Aaron Coates, and I'm the Arts and Community Engagement Coordinator for the Southern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium. And I get to work with Jube School, which is a wonderful program that is a multidisciplinary site school that experienced out of the Jubilee Auditorium in Calgary that has an ethnocultural focus. And we're proud to host these different kinds of events and be able to share the work of the fabulous artists here in Alberta with everyone throughout the province and wherever this might find you in the world. So I want to begin with an acknowledgement of the land. So in the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani, the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda Nations, Métis Nation Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. So for this workshop this afternoon, please note that if you need to pause at some point, you can do that, and this will carry on, and we will have this up on our channel for a short period afterwards. So if you, for some reason, can't get this done or whatever, or you need to stop and start, no problem, okay? We are happy to open up the chat, so if you would like to share your thoughts with Rozzie, if you have questions for her, or just comments that you want to share, we would love to hear from you. Also, because we can't see you right now, we would love to see your work. So if you want to tag us at Jube School on Instagram, which again I will put into the chat, we would love to see some of your work. Send us your rabbits. Let us see all these wonderful rabbits. So again, happy Lunar New Year to everyone out there, and I'm very pleased to turn it over to the fabulous Rozzie Lee, who is a Calgary chalk artist. Artist in all different kinds of forms, graphic designer. She does lots of different kind of things, and I am so excited for this Year of the Rabbit illustration. So hello, Rozzie, welcome.
Hi, Aaron. Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I really appreciate everybody coming here today, and I'm so happy to be able to do a Lunar New Year featuring the rabbit illustration with you all today. So this is the drawing that we're going to draw as a reference from. This is my own drawing. Worked on it last week, and I'm going to lead you through the drawing. We're going to start with our pencils or our black ink markers or pencils, whichever you're comfortable with, and we'll get into it. For those of you who don't know, the Lunar New Year started on January 21st, but the celebrations start the day before. So January 20th on the Saturday is like the eve of New Year's. Everyone starts the celebration and it goes on for 16 days, so until about February 9th. And with the Year of the Rabbit, it's a symbol of longevity. It's also symbolizes peace and prosperity. And it is said that the 2023 is to be the year of hope. So that's some background information of the Year of the Rabbit. So I hope everyone has their paper ready. So this is my drawing. I'm going to put it to the side for now, and I'll get you guys started. So on your piece of paper, we're going to do the frame. So let's do like a big, so we're going to draw a really large circle that fills up the whole paper pretty much. So I'm just using my pencil to draw this really big arch. So we want to go almost to the edge of the paper. So it just gives us a nice round frame. This to me kind of mimics the red packages that are part of the tradition of Lunar New Year, as we give out lucky red packages that often have money or chocolate or a treat inside. It's another way of sharing prosperity. And so that's what this round shape of a frame kind of mimics. So if you see in my reference here, I just kind of made a frame, and we're going to be coloring the outside red later on. So just draw a really big circle, really. I'm going to do that in marker so you can see it better through the camera. Okay. All right. So now that we have this frame going, we're going to start with the first rabbit. So I'm just gonna, that bothered me a little bit, just not having that ragged edge there. So now that we have our frame drawn out, let's do our first rabbit. Our first rabbit's going to be in the middle and take up about the space that my hand is taking. So we want to draw an oval for his head. And then we want to draw two round ovals on the side, and those are going to be the rabbit's paws. And it's going to be holding up a banner. So let's just draw a little bit of a shape that he's holding. Okay. And then let's draw the big belly. So we're going to draw a nice round shape for the rabbit's body. We're going to have a very plump rabbit here. And then let's make the legs of the rabbit go downward. So that's the rabbit's legs. Let's work on the ears. So we're going to go really big with the ears because that's the signature rabbit body part, right? So I'm just going to take my black marker at this time and just go over those lines we did. So do his paws, holding a banner, and we're going to write Happy Lunar New Year in that banner. Okay, so if you've got the outlines going, let's do the eyes. Oh, actually, let's start with the nose, because for me, the nose is right in the middle. Let's do a cute little oval. And then a happy face with the mouth open. And then the teeth. Let's do the tongue, little round shape there. And then I do the eyes because now I know how far apart to make them. And I'm just going to make them pretty wide on the face. And then if I fill in the lower parts in black, then I've got a bit of white in there to show a bit of shine on the eyes. And then if you want to do little cheeks, we can do a little blush. We can color them pink later. So that's rabbit number 1. If you've got some colors, we're going to make the banner red. So with Lunar New Year, the colors that represent good luck and prosperity are red and gold. So in everything Lunar New Year, if you have red and gold, it's the proper colors that everything should be. So while we can't draw gold unless you have paint, we're going to use yellow as representative of gold. So red and yellow are going to be the colors of how we show the Lunar New Year colors. Okay. So we just colored in the rabbit red. I'm going to do a bit of pink tongue, pink nose and cheeks. And then I like to draw the inside of the ears pink. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to draw like a middle line down on the rabbit's sweater here. And let's do some buttons. I'm taking a brown, and on top of the red clothing, I'm going to just do some lines to show some texture on the clothing. So I just did all diagonals and then the opposite direction. So we got like a quilt looking texture. So that's his fabric on this clothing. I'm going to write a happy Lunar New Year on the little banner that he's holding here. And since it's a lot of words, I'm going to stack them in 2 rows. So I'm going to write happy. Let's see if you can get closer here. Oh, it's probably backwards for you guys. Well, you guys can write it the right way if it's reversed. So make sure you write it that it's straight on for you and not backwards. Okay.
Rozzie, we have a school from Hidden Valley here in Calgary, and then we even have someone in Australia who is tuning in for at the moment here. So we have lots of people watching today.
Wow. Australia even. It must be nighttime for you guys. The time zone difference, right?
I think she said 8 in the morning, doing having breakfast.
That's amazing. I'm so happy you could join us. That's amazing. Aw. Okay, let's try to do rabbit number 2. The reason why we start in the middle is because we want to center the rabbit. Mine is a little off because I'm working very crooked. Like I'm not looking straight on to my drawing, but hopefully yours is more centered than mine is. Okay. Australia, it's their summertime now. We're in our winter. Oh, it must be good weather over there. Let's do the rabbit on this side. So this rabbit's going to be holding, I go back to our drawing here. It got a little bit cropped out from my printer because I drew this, took a photo, and then printed my photo. That's what it was. Because the original drawing is somewhere else, so not with me. So my printer cropped off the drawing a little bit. So we're gonna draw his whole arm here. So our next rabbit's gonna be brown, also wearing red, and then it's gonna be holding what is representative of gold. So to do him, we're going to, I usually start with the object that they're holding because I don't want to run out of room. So I'm going to draw that gold, which is do a dome shape, like a half circle, and then come out on both sides, and then curve downward, and then straight across. It kind of looks like a UFO or a hat. So we got half circle, straight out, kind of curve in, and then straight across. So that's our gold. And then we want to draw the arm of the rabbit. So just do a bit of an oval shape. That's going to be the paw. And then a little arm. The next thing I draw is the head actually of the rabbit. And it's going to be quite big. So just draw a really big oval. And then the next thing I like to draw would be the body that connects that arm and the head together. And again, we're going to do like quite a plump bunny. This time the legs will be in a jumping motion. So let's draw a big foot here. So I just drew a really long oval. That's going to be the 1 foot of the rabbit. And then to connect them both, we're going to do like, this is like the legs, one going one way and one going the other. And then that's his other foot. Let's draw a rabbit tail that you can kind of see from the side here. Little white tail. And then his other arm is going to go behind the body, but we can just make it go behind. You can do the arm too, or sorry, the little paw if you have room. I was running out of space there, but one thing I'm missing are the big ears. Okay, so if you're following along, let's do that in the black ink. It really defines our drawing once we get it down in black ink. Yeah, rabbits are quite known for their ears and their big feet. So whenever we can show big feet from the rabbit and big ears, people will know what we're drawing. Again, with the pink, the ears. Oh, let's do the nose. So this rabbit, let's start with the nose, and then a cute little mouth, and then this one, I decided the eyes will be that cute little happy shape, where it's like a upside down U. So just smiling. Let's add little freckles, whiskers really. I forgot that on this guy, little whisker dots. And then I always like to draw cute cheeks on my animals. So if you got your yellow, color in the gold. That was quite fluorescent, so I'm going to use maybe a more orange color. And then this rabbit's got red clothing. I forgot the middle line again. If you want to do more details on the clothing, like a collar, feel free to do that. Let's do a trim on the bottom and then color that in gold. And then some buttons. It's always fun to do little details on the clothes of your characters. So I'm doing all the accents in yellow and the main body in red. The nice thing about these drawings is that you guys can use whatever materials you prefer to color. So if you're using crayons or pencil, crayons, watercolor. Nice thing about this drawing is you can use any of those materials and you'd still get a wonderful drawing. And I like to color this bunny in brown. Let's see if I can do that here. I personally love drawing rabbits. Usually the only time we get to draw them is around Easter. So feel free to color in your rabbits whatever colors you guys feel like, because I'm going to do a brown, white, and then a gray rabbit. But as we all know, rabbits come in all sorts of colors and like they even have multicolored rabbits where they have patches of different shades on them. So if you feel like doing, you know, little black patches or gray spots or different colored rabbits, feel free to take that artistic liberty and make yours look unique. Okay, if you're ready, we're going to work on the third rabbit, and this one's going to be holding an orange. Oranges is another commonly seen item in Lunar New Year, also representing prosperity and lucky things. So you'll see a lot of orange trees and tangerines. With this rabbit, let's start with his head. Maybe I'm going to go to the other side of my board here. I'm going to work from this side. It's a big shadow. Okay, let's do this way. So I think the most important thing about these drawings, and when you do characters in general, when you do animals, think of where the face is going to go. Where's the face going to go, which leads the body into your drawing? Because I like to use up the space thoughtfully. Then added ears. So this orange is going to be in the rabbit's hands. That's my reference image again. So I'm trying to draw this guy here. I'm just going to map out where the orange is going to be. That's kind of like there. So then I'm going to draw the arm and the paw. A lot of the time with animals, I like to draw them in very round shapes because it's quite cute that way. So that's why everyone's quite plump and round. Body, and then the feet. So let's just think of where the feet are going to land. So there's the one foot, his legs, and then the other foot's facing up. So we'll get in here with the marker. Nice big round head. Big bunny ears. So yes? Yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to get your teacher to comment in the chat, and Erin will relay those questions to us, or I can later on too. So with the orange, we do want to do a stem and then a little leaf. So if you can draw that in there too, that'll look really good. With this rabbit, we want to do a winky face. So I'm going to start with the nose. A cute little oval nose. Do that upside down M, like a smile, but then connect the two with a big mouth. This guy's going to be really happy. And then the buck teeth are at it, and the tongue. To do the winky face, I like to do one normal eye. So just draw an oval and then fill in most of it and leave a little bit of white there. And then do a sideways V. That's a bit of a wink. Then we'll draw the cheeks. And then those whisker dots again. I'm going to do a bit of a collar on the clothing, break up the red, and then some sleeves. So I'm going to do the yellow on the edges of the clothing again. I'm going to start to color in. I'm doing the orange first because it's the feature item of this rabbit, but it's nice, bright orange. I'm going to do a little bit of green on the leaf of the orange. And then, yeah, fill in your rabbit however you see fit for its colors. My favorite part to color in are the nose, cheeks, and ears, if you couldn't tell. I always like to get in there pretty quick with the pink. I think it's the cutest. Oh, then tongue. And so I'm just coloring in the body of the rabbit, clothing, again with red, because everybody wears red. So hopefully everyone was wearing red during the Lunar New Year. I'm not sure if your teachers mentioned that is a tradition to wear red to all of you, but I will share that with you now. Good luck to wear red. And if you don't have red at home, maybe you can wear something vibrant, paint like vibrant and energetic. Even like something colorful. Don't wear white, don't wear black. That's typically what we're taught about what to wear during the new year. Oh yeah, this rabbit's gonna be gray. So I just got my gray marker and I'll start coloring. All right. And if I'm going too fast for you guys, you can always color it in later at your own pace. I know I moved pretty quickly here, but having designed this drawing and drawn it before, of course, I'm going to be faster because I know what's going to happen. I know what's happening. So for the first time seeing this drawing, I understand it's going to be a bit slower. So feel free to take your time to color it in slowly.
Hey, Rozzie. Ms. Wong and her students from Greenfield School want to say that they are loving this so far, and wondered if at some point you might let us know when you decided to become an illustrator or an artist. They would love to know about that when you have a moment.
Oh boy. When did I become an illustrator or artist? Well, when I was in grade 2, I was drawing rabbits. I was inspired by Mr. Dress Up. He was a TV show from when I was a kid, and he drew rabbits in one of his shows, and then I was drawing rabbits on the big flip poster board in the classroom, and I remember doing that, and I love to draw since I was a kid, and I think that every kid loves to draw because we have that love of creation and we love to make something out of nothing. And that's really my driving force in life is, you have a blank piece of paper and then now we have a drawing. So out of nowhere, we have this really cool piece of art. So I think I started when I was a kid, just loving to make things and I love to draw. So I did comics, like my own comics, or copied like Mario and Yoshi. When I was in elementary school, I would draw from things that I liked. But then when I got a bit older, like junior high and high school, I knew that art was something that I was one of my strengths, and I had a knack for drawing. And so I did, create a life around being an artist, really. Um, but I've only been doing art full time and doing it as a business for about 6 years now. I was a graphic designer. When I got out of high school, I decided to go to Alberta College of Art and Design, which is now AU Arts. And the visual communications program is the field that I went into. So it gave me a good background in the visual arts in the commercial space. So for retail and businesses and how they use, it's like a way to be creative, but also in a business sense. So that's kind of where my life led me to. And I just, my classmates, some of them are more design based. So people that make more logos and do typography, more think business cards and brochures, right? Someone had to make that. So that's the type of art that's more like computer based or technical. And for me, my love of drawing, it just carried me through life. So I think being an illustrator now is just one of the tools in my box of skills. And so I do a lot of painting and drawing day to day. So if we look back to our reference, pretty close, right? We're gonna do a bit of the background now. Let's work on a bit of grass and some flowers, and then let's do a Chinese lantern in the middle, and we can do some clouds as well. So since the background is quite empty right now, let's do just kind of do a bit of swoopy shapes. There's really no wrong way to do this, but that's going to be the grass. And then for the flowers, we all know how to draw flowers. I don't think I need to teach any of you guys how to draw flowers. One of the first things that we learn is drawing flowers. So to me, flowers are just kind of, you know what? They look like popcorn. I'm literally drawing popcorn. Little stems. It really is to add color. So feel free to get in there with whatever color you do feel like. You can do a little bit of pink. Mine are going to be probably pink purple. Pink purple. Okay, and I'm drawing the green. You can just draw a lot of green stems and leaves. I think. Or that's what I was looking for. I was looking for another shade of purple. I found it. Nice thing about art and drawing in general, you just go for it, guys. There really is no wrong way. And then if it doesn't really look that great, next time you know. Right? So if you didn't draw something so great the first time, you can always do a new drawing. But I feel like it's a big learning process anyway. Like I'm just drawing little dots inside the middle of the flowers with a red. I just grabbed the red hoping that it would come through on the markers, and it's showing up a bit. You can kind of see it. A little subtle. But the reason why I'm able to draw so quickly and how I've become an artist is because I've learned throughout my lifetime how things work, you know. So right now I like no one told me that doing red dots on top of that pink would come through, but once you try it, you know, right? And so then I can predict this is how the markers will react for when I layer them. So like you just learn by doing. And the more art you do, the better you're going to get at it. So in my experience, the reason why I'm coloring this shape with the outside first, if you saw what I was doing here, I did the outside first, and then I'm filling in the inside, is because it's a quicker way to color. And now when I'm filling in the inside, I don't have to concentrate so much about not going over the edge. So right now I'm, concentrating, okay, don't go outside the lines. And then when you fill it in, you can casually fill it in and not worry about going over the edge because you just made yourself a border, really. Because if I colored it in, it's easier to go over the edge, right? Without doing that outline. It's just through experience that I know that. So if you have room up here, and I know everyone's is going to look a little different, but if you have room, or maybe you can draw on the outside, just do a big red circle. And this is going to be our lantern. It looks like an egg yolk right now, but it's going to be our lantern. Trust me. Okay. And then do a line below and on top. And you can color that in to connect. That's going to be the top and the bottom of the lantern. If you have space, do a little thin line and then a little bit of a tassel. It's like it really is a tassel. It's just the dangly fabric thing that comes out of a lantern. And if you have your outlining color, like the black, I just outline the shape to give it a bit more definition. So that's another way to color and draw, actually. I did the coloring first and then the outline, whereas the rest of the drawing, we did the reverse. So it's another thing to think about. Maybe you could just color a bunch of things and then draw the outline after. That's another experiment you could do. So here's our lantern. So to show the more detail in the lantern, I like to do kind of lines like that. It's kind of like a beach ball in theory, when you think of how to draw it. Kind of like a beach ball. Okay. And then when it comes to the sky, I'm not sure how much time and effort you guys have. You could color the sky blue. It's going to take a while if I started to do that, so I might not do that. With markers, it's very defined. So if I start coloring it in blue and I don't finish, it doesn't look that great because it looks like I half did it. But if I took a pencil crayon and just kind of lightly did it in spots, it doesn't look like I didn't half do it, right? Oh, you can't barely see it. There's not enough contrast for the camera to pick up. That's the reason why I use markers more so in my lessons with you guys, is because the contrast really shows up on the camera and on the screen, whereas pencil crayons are a bit light. But you get the idea. Like if you use pencil crayons and you lightly colored it in, it's more forgiving when you don't fill it in fully. Going back to when I was your guys' age, I entered every single coloring contest that I could.
I think you've been very inspirational out there, Rozzie. Mr. Tang's class at Panorama Hill School says, "Hello, you are amazing." Um, we also have a
Thank
lovely
you.
message from Ms. Wong's class that said they got so excited when you mentioned grade 2 because they are a grade 2 class and they know that they are never too young to try to learn, love, and try new things. Thanks for sharing about your path. So, some love from out there in cyberspace.
Oh, that means so much to me. Thank you guys. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, that guy, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. When I think about my life right now, I think about what has meaning in what I do, and to be able to reach the next generation and encourage you guys with art, it makes me really happy to be able to do that. Wow, I'm pretty much done with the sky here. So if you notice my technique of coloring, I'm going back and forth, like left and right. And I'm using a bit of the side of the pencil because I'm getting more color down quicker by using the side of the lead rather than the tip. If I use the tip, it's very skinny, right? But if I use the side, it's getting more color down quicker. But you know what? It all comes in time. It all comes with practice. And there's a term called muscle memory. And it's what it means is your body remembers and is trained in a way to keep to do something without barely even thinking about it. It also applies to sports, right? So you imagine someone like who's a gymnast, they practice, over and over and over again how to do something. Well, for me, that's my drawing is and coloring. So for me, coloring and drawing comes very quickly. The more you do it, the better you'll get. So for clouds in the sky, so feel free to take another color, maybe a gray or a blue that's different than the what you just used in the background to do some clouds. I'll show you my reference again. I think doing clouds with a bit of swirl inside is quite cute. So I'll show you how I do that. Maybe I'll grab my scrap piece of paper first. So here's a scrap piece of paper. What I do to draw my clouds is I do a bit of a swirl and then I make it have those round swooping shapes after. So again, start with a swirl and then you can proceed to do that popcorn shape that I talk about. So I'm going to draw that in my main drawing now. But there's not much space. I've used it all up. I'm going to do maybe a couple though. Maybe they'll be a bit smaller than in my previous drawing.
Hi, Rozzie. Ms. Borelli's class from Olympic Heights School would love to know what is your absolute favorite thing to draw?
My absolute favorite thing to draw.
Yeah, absolute favorite. They want to pin you down. They want to know.
These days, my favorite thing to draw are flowers. And I don't know if that sounds it doesn't matter what it sounds like, I guess, but I love to draw flowers. But I also like to draw animals. So I've been doing a lot of work with the zoo lately. Like last year, every month, I got the chance to go to the zoo and do a big chalk illustration on the ground of one of their feature animals. So we did gorilla, we did trout, red pandas, giraffe. We did what else did we do? We about every month a bear. I think we did bears. So I think animals to me have been something that I really like to draw. Flowers, I think I'm drawn to because I think they're just beautiful. And they come quite naturally to me to draw flowers. Things that are hard for me to draw that I have difficulty with and I wish I was better at are things that are like machinery, like large metal industrial type things like cars. I have a really hard time drawing cars. And you know why? It's because they're hard objects that when you don't draw it quite right, it looks like the proportions are off. And then when you draw organic things that are, they don't have a right or wrong in a way when you draw flowers. Like you can draw flowers that the leaves or petals angle different ways, but no one can say, oh, that doesn't look like a flower because it's still, there's no, your brain doesn't tell you it's right or wrong when it comes to organic objects. If that makes sense. Some people are really good as the opposite though. They really like drawing technical things. I don't know if I have room for any more clouds, but I'm just going to draw a bit of like background shapes on these guys. I'm so happy to get to do fun, cute things with you guys. That's amazing to be able to do cartoony animals. That is quite the joy. Okay, so I did clouds. So if you have time and you've gotten this far, you can do red on the outside of your circle. So, and then it'll really complete this drawing if you have the time. I'm just gonna do a border around my border. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna do a border around my border. So I'm giving myself that space to do a yellow. So that represents the gold. And we want to do that on the top and the bottom. I can see if I were your guys' age, I'd draw a lot of like unicorns and like narwhals and was it cats that are unicorns? All kinds of animals are unicorns right now. That's what I'm noticing.
Hey, Rozzie. Karen Schweighardt would love to know what year of the animal of the Chinese zodiac were you born in?
What animal am I? I am 1984 baby, which makes me year of the rat. It doesn't sound great though, hey? Year of the rat. Of all the animals, that's probably the most humble. It's fun finding out what animal you are though. My brother is year of the dog, and my mom is year of the monkey. And then my dad is year of the horse. So then if you do more research, you can find out which animals get along with other animals. And the characteristic traits of which year it's kind of like a whole zodiac thing, right? people think Year of the Dragon babies are more likely to be famous or something, that kind of thing, zodiac stuff. It's another way of actually finding out how old people are without actually asking them how old they are. What year animal are you? And then you can either count back. Well, they're either, because it's every 12 years, right? So if someone's 12 years old, they're going to be Year of the Rabbit, won't they? Does that make sense?
That is very clever, Rozzie. Very clever.
Aaron, what year are you? What animal are you?
I am the year of the goat, and I have a good friend, and we always share our mutual because we're both year of the goat, and we
Oh,
love that. So we consider ourselves fellow goats.
that's awesome.
We have
So many
about
animals.
5 more minutes left with Rozzie, my friend. So again, loving your questions and your comments. This is fabulous. So you can keep them coming. And again, we're so excited to see rabbit pictures. So if you want to share your rabbit pictures, you can come on to tag us on Instagram at Jube School. And we want to love to see your rabbits.
And if you guys tag Jupe School and then tag myself at Calgary Chalk Artist, I will share those drawings as well.
Put at Calgary Chalk Artist in the chat. So yes, as Rozzie said, please feel free. Tag away. Well, fabulous. So, what projects do you have on the go at the moment, Rozzie? Or is there places where we can see your work or find out more about you?
That's a good question. Well, my Instagram is even better than my website. Hey, I find Instagram easier to use and easier to update people on what's happening on the daily, even better than the website.
Mm.
So the Instagram is my number one way of talking to people and showing everyone what I'm working on. Last night and as well as tonight, I'm going to go to Sleep Rover, which is a doggy daycare. And they're a local business here that have had me come in a number of times to work on murals in their space. So I was painting dogs and logo and like bringing color to their space because they're in more of a warehouse type environment. So they have lots of opportunity to add color. So I'm happy that they've brought me in a number of times over the years. I did a really cool mural for someone's office. It was inspired by their father and a quote from him, as well as a buffalo, which represents her father. And so I'm going to share that in the upcoming days here. I have to do a little bit more footage of that one before I am able to fully share it. Yeah, another cool project that's on my Instagram that you guys can see is a company called Ram with a bit of a swirl in their logo. And I was able to do Calgary landmarks in the logo. So their logo is a design that they created. And then I was able to draw my favorite landmarks in Calgary inside the logo. So you have to see that. Let's see.
Cool. Thanks. We have a few last moment questions here we'd love to ask you. Jocelyn Latang, pardon me if I'm mispronouncing that, from St. Pius X School, wonders how much time does it take you to do one drawing and coloring? Obviously, we've been here with you for an hour, but Can you tell us any idea about other different kinds of projects that you work on, maybe?
How much time?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the drawing. So when I do chalk drawings outside on the sidewalk, they're always 1 day projects, right? So about 1 day is 8 hours, let's say, with breaks and stuff like that. But I think that I get kind of tired on the ground, so I try to make it about a 4 hour, 5 hour thing. Um, if it's indoors, I have a lot more stamina and um, I don't get tired as quickly, right? Because I'm not in the sun or the cold or the wind, right? So when I'm inside, drawings are pretty quick. A lot of the times my drawings are on my iPad. I know that's a new thing for everybody is working digitally. So when I'm doing sketches for clients to show them proposals of a concept of what we were thinking of doing, I might often just grab my iPad and go to a coffee shop and work there instead of being at home because it's nice to get out and be part of the world rather than stay at home and by myself, right? Because I do work for myself and I don't have a employer and a place to go on the daily. So um, usually drawings are 1 day projects if I can help them because I get kind of it takes a lot of concentration, right, and devotion to get back to a drawing. So I usually try to make them 1 day projects. So that's
Yeah.
our finished drawing.
Oh, beautiful. So cute.
It's
Love it.
really cute. Yeah, I would love to see how some of your guys' drawing turned out too.
You know, Roz, you've definitely built some fans because there are some students who are wondering if you do any other like YouTube lessons on drawing that they could follow and learn from. I know we love
Um,
to have Rozzie as much as we can, so we try to. We've got to work with you in the past at the Farmers and Makers Market here in Calgary, a couple of these YouTube videos. So we try to get as much Rozzie out there as we can. But yeah, do you have any other ways for people to learn from you?
just hearing that feedback tells me that I should be making more content in this category. So thank you for the encouragement. I think I'll make some more work for you guys to see in the future here because I have been so busy in daily life just doing work out in the public. I never thought of doing more workshops and more student-based lessons. So hearing that you guys like me and you like what I'm doing, I think I'm going to work on getting more stuff out there with you guys. I do have some Jube lessons from the last 2 years. So there's the last year of the tiger drawing, as well as how to draw a dragon. And it's with Jube School, and they're on um, the Jube School's YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
If it's not accessible on that you can't find, it's in my links in my Instagram. In the Instagram, there's a link there where it has more links to choose from. So when you go to my website on Instagram, really, you can pick main website, YouTube channel, how to draw a dragon, how to draw a tiger. It's on there. Those are the ones I have so far. I have a bit of a chalk tutorial on my YouTube as well. So if you look up Calgary chalk artist, you'll see my YouTube. I have some time lapses of me doing chalk drawings. That'll be really fun to see because you can see some of the other work that I do.
All right. Very cool. Well, wonderful. Thank you to everyone out there for joining us. And though she can't hear you, if you could give a huge virtual round of applause to Rozzie Lee, I know she will appreciate it. So thank you very much on behalf of Jupe School, Rozzie. Thank you for joining us today and guiding us through this amazing drawing. And yes, we're so excited to see your pictures, and I feel pretty certain we'll get tagged in a few, Rozzie, so we'll get to take a look at some. So thank you very much for guiding us through.
Thank you everyone again for joining us today. Had a great time.
Wonderful. Yeah, final thank you from grade 4 at St. Philip's School. Hi, St. Philip's School. We appreciate that. Friends, if you enjoyed this, we do this monthly online workshops, and coming up in February, we're going to be having a couple more workshops celebrating Black History Month especially. So please stay tuned for that. You can check us out on all of the socials. And again, feel free to have a look at Jupe School, at Jupe School on Instagram. And thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.